RTV6 making progress in this coronavirus era. What the governor announced today that impacts Hoosiers in elective medical procedures.
You know, this year has just been uncharted territory for not just ag industry, but for the producers themselves.
Farmers across the Hoosier state are feeling the pinch, too. The supply is up, but the spending is down.
A proposed sewer rate increase for the town of Mooresville and some of the surrounding areas isn't sitting well with some who say it's bad timing given the pandemic. I'm Kara Kenny with why the town council president says the project should move forward.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
And thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins, coming to you from my home as we continue our social distancing.
And I'm Amanda Starantino at the WRTV studios. And today we learned Indiana is taking its first steps toward reopening the state. Governor Eric Holcomb today officially extended the stay-at-home order until May 1st. But at the same time, he announced that some elective medical procedures can resume tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, hospitals can do procedures that diagnose, screen, and treat medical conditions such as cancer or heart issues that could expand to other medical practices around the state. Next Monday, now Holcomb said there is an adequate supply of personal protective equipment, and he also praised Hoosiers for progress we've all made.
You are practicing, in large part, good physical distancing practices, and you're slowing the spread, you're flattening the curve. We see this around most of the state of Indiana.
The governor also clarified that nurseries, greenhouses, and pet groomers can already be open. And now to the day's other developments. The state health department recorded 7 new COVID-19 deaths, the lowest day-to-day increase in several days. The statewide total stands at 569. 505 more Hoosiers have tested positive for a total of nearly 11,700. More than 64,000 people have been tested, an increase of more than 3,500 from yesterday's number. And the state also provides us with information regarding the ages of the people who have died. Nearly 90% are age 60 and above. However, we now have deaths recorded in all age ranges except birth to age 19. And now for the bigger picture. More than 2.4 million cases of COVID-19 have been diagnosed around the world and 168,500 deaths. More than 41,000 of those are in the U.S. The positive news, more than 71,000 people in the U.S. have recovered.
RTV6 is doubling its commitment to your recovery from the pandemic. Our initiative, called The Rebound Indiana, will tackle the big issues from unemployment to making ends meet during this historic time. Tonight, RTV6's Rafael Sanchez introduces us to one veteran, one of many Hoosiers waiting to get that much-needed benefits.
Courtney Essett serves in the Air Force. The reservist is a sergeant. Her love of country comes only second to the love of being a mom to this little guy.
I grew up loving history. The Tuskegee Airmen were one of my favorite groups to learn about and a group that I always admired. And when I was at a crossroads in my adult life, wanted to do something a little more impactful, a little more meaningful.
Courtney filed for unemployment after being laid off from her full-time restaurant job. Her benefits denied because she did not serve enough consecutive active duty time. Instead of 189 days, she only served 173 days. And that's because she needed to take some time off to heal after the loss of her mother in August 2019. So Courtney appealed her denial on March the 19th.
My mom always wanted to be in the Marine Corps. It's not something that she was ever able to achieve. So when I wear my uniform, I'm kind of wearing it for her as well.
I connected through FaceTime with the Commissioner of Workforce Development, Fred Payne. He can't comment on cases under appeal, but he says, overall, the agency is handling these types of cases as quickly as possible.
We've redeployed people across our agency to really fill in some of those gap areas. When we see that there's a backlog, we have people who could really be ready to fill in just in case. So we'll have to address that as that appeals process goes forward. If we see the need to increase manpower or to change the process, we'll do so at that time.
Courtney is concerned, but she is counting on the state and the country that she serves not to forget her at this difficult moment. Working for you, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
RTV6 is hosting a virtual forum with the top leaders from the Department of Workforce Development on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. We hope you'll join the discussion on our website, theindychannel.com, and on the RTV6 Facebook page as we address your concerns as we focus on Indiana's and your rebound. The Trump administration and Congress are working on an aid package of more than $450 billion to boost the small business loan program, which has run out of money. It also adds funds for hospitals and COVID-19 testing. It was anticipated that an agreement would be announced today, but that has not happened yet. The original $349 billion in the Paycheck Protection Program provided forgivable loans to small businesses and was quickly exhausted. According to the Small Business Administration, nearly 36,000 small Indiana businesses were approved for PPP loans for a total of nearly $7.5 billion. That money must be used to keep employees paid. Tomorrow, the Indianapolis Bar Association is offering free legal advice for local small businesses during a virtual Ask a Lawyer event. Attorneys will be available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to answer questions regarding the CARES Act. That's the Paycheck Protection Program and other small business administration programs. To begin that chat, simply visit indybar.org/chat.
And the country shutdown is putting farmers in a pinch. They're sitting on crops they can't sell. And since the economy is so poor and spending is down, RTV6's Stephanie Wade shares this impact and what it will do to Hoosier farmers if this keeps up.
Farmers across the Hoosier state are feeling the pinch as supply continues to go up. But the demand just isn't there. People are out of work and industries are closed, so spending has been down.
Very concerned about basically, how long is this thing going to play out? We're in uncharted territory, no precedent to go by.
Denny Fries worked in the agricultural industry for over 40 years. He runs the Shelby County Co-op, serving over 600 farmers in 8 surrounding counties. He says the pandemic is forcing farmers to sit on their crops. They can't move or sell. Right now, they're planting crops not knowing who the buyers are or what consumption will be.
Disappointed in the fact that having to market their product at this point at the price levels, the market levels that they are at, causing a lot of concern this year about getting the cash flow to be what it needs to be to pay for their inputs.
Fry tells me they're waiting to see if the government will issue any type of subsidy or program to help farmers get through this. As it stands, he says there's only financial protection if you weren't able to plant your crops, but nothing to protect crop surpluses that are waiting to be sold. If demand doesn't pick up, he says, it's going to be hard for farmers to get through this. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Throughout this pandemic, we've seen companies across the state come together working to make products so desperately needed by healthcare workers on the front lines. One of those items? Face shields. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum shows you how a Bloomington aviation company is shifting their production to meet the need.
This is video from MSP Aviation. Founded in Marion and currently located in Bloomington, this Hoosier company typically manufactures parts for airplanes.
We make products that are used in the flight control center of planes, so if it flies, odds are it's got an MSP part on it.
But starting this week, the products leaving this facility will look a little different. MSP will instead be manufacturing face shields like this.
Quite easy. You just put the foam band on your forehead and you've got a face shield.
The president and owner tells us he's already had healthcare facilities reach out and place orders. He's hoping the product will not only help protect doctors and nurses, but his staff of about 30 people as well.
We've had to reduce our workforce considerably. We've got some good people that have been furloughed. We're working with this program, and then also we're very encouraged by some of the SBA programs, the payroll protection program. We believe with this and that program, we're going to be keeping our people busy.
He says a company on the West Coast designed the shields. They will now be produced in Bloomington and go to doctors and nurses in the Midwest. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
The company plans to manufacture about 25,000 face shields a week to start, but they have the ability to increase that number if need be.
The town of Mooresville is moving forward with plans to raise sewer rates on homeowners and businesses. A public hearing is scheduled for tomorrow night, but some say with COVID-19, the project should be pushed back. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been digging into the proposal and what it would mean for homeowners.
People in the town of Mooresville and the surrounding areas like Canby got these notices in the mail about a proposed sewer rate increase. For some, it's the first they're hearing about it, and some say it's bad timing.
When you flush the toilet, use the sink, or take a shower, that wastewater has to go somewhere. The town of Mooresville says its sewer system infrastructure is aging on the south side. So they started the process a year ago to make improvements and raise sewer rates for homeowners and businesses. But some are just finding out about the project now that the public hearing notices are showing up in mailboxes.
People are going to be angry. Our bill will go from $39.92 to $59.49. It's huge. That's huge for a lot of people.
Susan Massey contacted Call 6 Investigates with concerns, saying the town should not be holding a public hearing amid a pandemic. The sewer rate increase would have gone into effect this summer, but the town has already pushed it back to February 2021.
I just don't understand why they chose this time to do it. Number one, even if it isn't taking place until February, why do this now during this pandemic when people are already so frightened, worried, nervous, scared? Foods, shortages and things like that. It's just horrible timing.
Call 6 checked with the state's public access counselor, who says only public business critical to the operations of government should be taken during this public health emergency.
I don't think you get any more essential than sewer use. As sewers go down, you're in big trouble as a town. So this also is an update to the sewer system in general.
The town council president says this has been in the works for a year, plus rates haven't increased in a decade. At Tuesday's meeting, the public is welcome to attend. They'll use overflow rooms and video to make sure they're following social distancing.
And they can hear the meeting, and we have the chairs set up where they can maintain their social distancing requirements.
You can also email in your comments and they'll be read at the meeting. Susan Massey plans to attend.
And a lot of people are out of jobs. It's affected my family directly.
The meeting will get underway at 6:30 on Tuesday night here at the Government Center in Mooresville on Harrison Street. If you'd like to submit your comments, we have instructions on how to do that in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. Reporting in Mooresville, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And they're stuck at home, and I can see a huge difference. I mean, they're not as happy. They're not as they're bored.
Foreign exchange students can't return home right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, we explain how host families are working together to help the students.
And Mark, what a way to start the work week. Lots of sunshine around, a few clouds now. Everybody out stretching their legs if they could on the Monon, keeping a safe distance from each other. We'll talk about the distance between central Indiana and some showers next.
To Keller and Keller.
Students studying here on a visa through a foreign exchange program are stuck here in Indiana during the pandemic. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain how host families are working together to make the students feel safe during this time, even though some of them can't return home right now.
Lori Plonker has been working with International Cultural Exchange Services for more than a decade, but even she's never experienced anything like this.
And they're stuck at home, and I can see a huge difference. I mean, they're not as happy. They're not as they're bored.
Students who signed up to visit America and study on a visa are now sheltering in place with their host families instead of getting the experience they signed up for.
He was supposed to go with us for spring break, and then we all got put on lockdown. So Adrian just got to stay with us because we're not allowed to travel to his county.
Adrian is from Spain. He planned on visiting New York for spring break. Maria just wanted to be a part of the Mooresville High Swim team and go to Florida. Instead, she celebrated her birthday under COVID-19 restrictions.
They made a virtual, a Zoom like this with a bunch of people from Spain and then some friends from here. And that made it better.
The plan was for these students to completely immerse themselves in American culture, but they've hardly had that opportunity because the coronavirus has canceled prom, sporting events, and the trips they were looking forward to. On top of that, their parents are worried.
She's worried so much about the coronavirus because, in America, they have a lot of people getting the coronavirus, and my mom calling me all day and all night, asking me, "Are you okay?" or something like that.
In fact, some of the students can't even return home right now.
If ICE was done with e-learning and she wasn't working on her grades, basically her visa would be over. But her orders are locked, so she would not be able to return home.
Even though their experience hasn't been what they expected, these students say they are getting to experience Hoosier hospitality at its finest. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And according to program coordinators, if the students were to return home right now, they'd also have to quarantine alone for 14 days.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast, and a great day to get outside for some exercise. We caught these folks doing a Zumba class in the parking lot of Knightstown High School, brought to you by Get Fit by Zumba by Nancy. They're staying safe, some wearing masks and social distancing, just like Kevin and I are doing from home. Can't pass up a day like today to get outside, Kevin.
Or if you couldn't get outside, I got yoga mats. 2 of them, Mark.
That'll work too.
That way I can really stretch out. But today was a day, hopefully, when you set this over there. I have to be careful when I pick those up later. It's difficult to not enjoy that sunshine. It's starting to give way to cloud cover now. Let me just show you the clouds invading western half of the state. Let's play weather investigators and follow the clouds. There may be a couple sprinkles up near Monticello and Delphi, but more substantial showers are to the northwest, and that little line from Green Bay to Waterloo, Iowa is ahead of a cold front. Those are sliding to the south and east. A few showers arrive for us tonight. It will definitely lead to cooler temperatures during the day tomorrow. You'll notice that. Temperature right now feels good. 66 in Columbus, 67 in Bedford. Temperature in Lafayette still middle to upper 60s, 64 in Muncie. These are average temperatures for this time of year, and keep in mind most of this week temperatures will be below average. The wind has picked up out ahead of the cold front I told you about. The wind will continue to gust over 20 miles per hour through the next 24 hours, and it turns into a colder wind. Say hello to Maggie. She's ready for a walk this evening. Temperatures, they'll be in the low to mid 50s by 11 o'clock with an increasing chance for some light showers. Corey McNamara, thanks for sending in the picture of Maggie, and thanks for being such a good little girl, Maggie. As far as the showers, there they are at 9 o'clock, not covering much area. By the time we get to 11, a few more, and then they pick up a little bit overnight, but a lot of hit and miss. So not everyone will see this. A lot will be missed by the rain showers. Back to it tomorrow. Sunshine, but a cool northwest wind and highs only at 53. That'll be a full 10 to 15 degrees cooler in spots than we were today. Temperatures struggle to hit 50 from Lafayette to Kokomo and Marion North. Lower 50s anywhere in central Indiana. That's with a northwest wind that will be 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. Mid 50s to the south. Keep our eye on some patchy frost Wednesday morning. That will come with the wind dying down. If the wind calms down enough, I think the patchy frost becomes a little more likely. But the wind during the day on Wednesday will come out of the southwest, and that will have its impact as that increases. So will our temperatures. By the time our afternoon high is reached, we will be back in the mid 60s temporarily and dry Wednesday. Chance for some rain, maybe a thunderstorm Thursday. Friday, another day where temperatures are in the 60s. It's about every other day that's somewhat comfortable until we get to the weekend. We'll be in the 50s there. That's it from the home office for now. We'll be back with more 6 News right after this.
Check up at Golden Oak Lending.
RTV6 is committed to making sure you know about job opportunities available right now. With so many people staying home, a Fishers company has jobs that could be perfect. Sitel Fishers is hiring 650 people for work-at-home positions. Sitel is a digital customer experience and solutions provider. It's looking to hire 500 customer service representatives and 150 claims adjusters. The positions are full-time and offer full benefits and career development. For information on how to apply, head to hiringhoosiers.com. rtv6.com. That's also where you can connect with more companies that are looking to hire right now.
We are also committed to highlighting businesses that are still open to serve you. Coming up tonight at 6, one shop in downtown Pendleton is delivering smiles all over that town, 1 dozen at a time. Quack Daddy Donuts has remained open, adding curbside pickup and delivery in and around Pendleton. They've had to add staff over the past few weeks to keep up with demand. Brad Brown shows us how folks up there are gobbling it up by the box. RTV6 and the Indy Chamber of Commerce have joined forces to protect Indiana businesses. You can find more about the Chamber's Buy Indy effort and profiles on businesses that are open by going to theindychannel.com/open. That's all for the news at 5. Join us again for the news at 6.